Hey everybody. First I apologize, my hair is like anyway. I just wanted to get to you this week on the last few chapters of Made to Crave. The book is absolutely amazing. I totally recommend this to everybody. She talks mostly about food, but really it's anything that causes our eyes to be off of God. And so this last part I'm going to do because I have a new series coming up next month. So this is chapter 15 through 19. I just want to give you some bullet point things because she said, but you got to read the book. It's got some amazing stuff in there. So chapter 15, she talks about not just being a physical battle and a mental battle, but it is also a spiritual battle that we are fighting when we are putting anything that we're focusing on that is not God, looking for comfort anywhere but God. So Satan wants us to sneak things and we need to remove that temptation. Some of the things that we are looking for comfort in, we need to totally remove those things. She talked about certain foods, and that not to think about it as what you can't have, but be thankful for what you can have, and that boundaries are things that keep us safe as opposed to things that restrict us. So chapter 16, she talks about why diets don't work, and that it's not dieting, it is being on a health journey with Jesus. I love the way she puts that, a journey with Jesus, because we are on a journey with Jesus, whether we realize it or not. And so for our food choices, it really helps when we know that we're on a journey with Jesus, and Jesus can help us in those food choices. She talks about making a plan and deciding ahead of time what you will eat, what you will do, and not eat and not do, so that you have a plan. And as a health coach, I help my clients with that, so they don't even need to figure that out on their own, to help them with weight loss or health. And she says to remember that it's only for a season, and that's true in a way. And she talks about the fact that we have to control our food rather than having it control us. So it is for a season. She says, do we sacrifice? Yes, we do. But it's important not to go back to the way that we were eating before. And that's where I say that, is it for a season? Yeah, because when you're losing weight, you're not going to do the same things as when you're in optimization, maintaining that weight. But you will gain the weight back if you are going back to the way you used to eat. And so we do need to make some sacrifices, and we do need to have a plan ongoing so that we are healthy for life. And again, I can help you with that. She says one wise choice leads to two, and then more and more, and depending on God helps you with that. So chapter 18, she talks about not looking at it as losing, but what we are gaining. So it's not like it's a loss of eating this favorite cookie or this favorite thing, or whatever we found comfort in, but rather gaining health. It's not just a number on a scale. I can't tell you this enough. It is not just the number on the scale, because it's how healthy you are. So that number may or may not be indicative of whether or not it's healthy for you. Muscle does weigh more than fat. And she said she went more by her clothes and how her clothes fit and how she felt about her body and her journey with Jesus as she's doing this. That was more of an indication of her success. The number on the scale, and she does talk about this too, is an indicator of whether or not you're getting where you want to go, but it is not the be-all, end-all. And it is dangerous to hold our imperfections next to somebody's glorious packaging. So we tend to compare ourselves, our worst qualities, to the best qualities of somebody else. So we need to be careful we're not doing that, because what we see on the outside from somebody is not necessarily what is on the inside. And we always compare our worst things, our worst qualities, to somebody's best qualities, and that's not fair. Then in chapter 19 is the last chapter she has. She talks about God not only wants us to have a healthy perspective on food, but also to achieve that, we need to do some things. So we need, the extra weight, she says, isn't God's curse, but a manifestation of our internal struggle with food choices, comfort food, things like that. Victory is always the sum of all of the wise decisions that are made daily, and one small step leads to another, and we call that habit stacking. And so you will have healthy habits, you will have a healthy body and a healthy life. So I hope that book helped, but I can't stress enough, it's really, you got to read the book. There's so much more there. But next week I have a new series starting, so in August, and it's going to be the 4 pillars of health. Because health is not just, while weight loss is not just the number on a scale, health is not just our physical health. We are not just physical bodies. We are spiritual, mental, emotional, all those things. So there are 4 health pillars that I feel now called to expand, to talk about. And I'm going to start that next month. And I will hope, I will see you there. And I hope that, my hope is that it brings a lot of blessing into your life.